how do we call it? The drainage master plan.
Okay.
The drainage master plan. It featured very high on it because that is the roadmap. You cannot do drains to solve this when you don't have a master plan.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was one of it. Now, if you read the report, one issue that came out during the audit, they told us that it was expensive to do it.
To do the master plan?
Yeah, to do the master plan. That was one of the reasons that it was expensive. And we said, I mean, the forest was not, I mean, a reason at all. Because it's just like you go to hospital and they said, oh, your sickness can be cured, but it's expensive, so you have been discharged. You know, we can't do that. You know, so that's why we try to highlight the importance of the master plan. Yeah. Then we also looked at the drains that they have constructed themselves.
Okay.
How were they done? You know,
that's the engineering aspect.
The engineering aspect, the sizes of the drain, and how they were connecting from minor drains to major drains, primary to secondary drains. You know, and it is also highlighted. Then we also looked at collaboration between the stakeholders, electricity, water, then the urban roads, you know, and the drainage itself. Because you realize that sometimes they construct the drain, then water comes in and passes a big pipe through the drain. Then electricity comes and you see electric cables on the water pipe. So all those ones form a breach. Then when the rubbish gets in there, it is blocked and the whole thing becomes like a dam. You see, so it doesn't work as a drain anymore. It becomes a dam. And that's part of the problem that we saw. Then another area that we looked at was the maintenance of the drains. And when you look into the report, you realize that they started some drains that they left, you know, out of money, that monies were not enough, and the drains were not completed. Because they were not completed, they became, you know, filled with silt. Then grass began to grow, and it affected the flow of. And we looked at the quality of the work. You see, the quality of the works were not very good. As the team tested, we had some instruments. We now have instruments that we use to test the concrete works and all the reinforcement and everything, which they tested, and they didn't meet the quality standard. So if they didn't meet the quality standard, what happens? But they were paid all the same. Then, if you don't follow it maintenance, it means deterioration would speed up. And this is what we were seeing. So they will have a cycle of doing one and the same thing, always and always. Yeah, if you have any other questions on this thing, I think the team can fill in.
So maybe if they can tell the key findings.
Okay.
When the decision was formed.
My boss has highlighted a lot of it. The first was about the drainage master plan.
Okay.
And when we went into the study, we realized that actually the problem is multifaceted, and a lot of bodies have a role to play. And HSD, which is the main auditee, their part is to construct primary drains. The MMDAs also have a role to play in controlling development. We all hear of complaint of development of water lines and so forth. That's why the drainage master plans are very, very important, because it will provide a platform for all these bodies that play a role to coordinate their efforts. Because there is also Department of Urban Roads that constructs secondary and tertiary drains, which feeds into the primary drains. So if the master plan is not there, there will be a lot of conflicts in there and inefficiencies in drinking water. So the absence of the drainage master plan was highlighted. And another thing was...
And before you move to them, did they give you any reasons for the absence of the master plan?
As my boss said, the only reason they had was that the cost is very prohibitive. They had to go into it, they will spend so much.
But they didn't give you any cost, any figure?
They had a figure in their sector medium development plans. But the annual plans and budgets that are actually supposed to be done to make provisions for doing them, we realized that there was nothing in them. So even though in their medium-term plans there were provisions, when it comes to the annual plans, so it really tells us a lot about their commitment to doing these things, because remember, in the plan system, the annual plans themselves, action plans, there was nothing, there were no provisions. So one of our recommendations was that they should start preparatory works in manageable phases towards the production of the drainage master plans. So if they can phase it out and put it in bit by bit in the annual plans towards the bigger production, it will help.
So do you have any idea if they have it now or if they began any process?
I don't think they have it. And then another thing was, we also looked at how the extent to which they are able to implement what they plan to do. And we realized that